wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. Up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day it is. It's a wonderful Wednesday, middle of the week hump day. I do have with me my co-host this morning is Greg White. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
It is a happy chilly Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're back to the chilly willies.
We had the wet snow rain yesterday.
Yeah. It was kind of all of the roads since the week, the past event had started to, our temperatures since Fern had started to melt a little bit, and we were actually seeing pavement, and then yesterday afternoon took us back.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing shiny roads, which if it's shiny,
watch your hiney.
Watch your hiney.
Yes, exactly. I'm cracking up. Well, first of all, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
Absolutely. Mediview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's, Foxburley Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Marshall Monuments in their new location on Main Street, McAllister Land Consulting, Springer & Springer Insurance, Schneck Medical Hospital in Seymour and other locations, and Temple & Temple.
Yes, and we talked with Schneck and talked about the great
Ortho
things
clinic.
they do. Yeah, the ortho clinic.
Yeah.
And right here, we have it right here in Salem.
Shots they give you in your knee.
Yeah, they'll take care of it. They'll get you up dancing. You'll be up there on the dance floor. But going back to the weather, yeah, you're right. I think we took like several steps forward, and then now we took several steps back. So I do want to say that I'm hearing reports from the Saltillo area on the west end. We do know West Washington has canceled now. Eastern canceled last night, Salem canceled last night, and West Washington was on a 2-hour delay, but they have since changed that because they said Saltillo and the Camelsburg roads were really, really slick. Let me see if I can get that right. Let me make sure I got that right. Slick. That's, let's see here. Yeah, they were actually, Camelsburg and Saltillo are fully ice covered, which we knew this kind of was going to happen because other areas have patches of ice, bridges and culverts especially, and lost traction multiple times. So that's a little bit from West Washington talking about it. We do have our own, we're going to jump right in here. We have on the phone, we have our own Superintendent of Salem School Corporation, Terry Goodin. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Becky White. How are you this morning?
Fantastic. I also have Greg with me this morning.
Morning.
Hey, Greg.
Morning.
I wanted to kind of go over, we just, we got the report this morning, East Washington had canceled last night, Salem had canceled last night, and then West Washington, they tried the 2-hour delay, but they canceled this morning they said that the roads were actually covered in ice in the Saltillo, Camelsburg area. So I wanted to just kind of get that. All 3 county schools are canceled today. So.
Oh, wow. That's too bad, but that's the safe thing to do, right?
It is. Well, let's go back. Let's real quick. We're going to talk roads just for a second and weather because, as a superintendent, this is a huge part. You have to, you're either going to be kissed or kicked, in decisions like this. But it was definitely a moment, because this came on so fast. We knew it was going to come on, but it was a wet snow and it was a slick. It made everything so slick.
Right, it did, Becky. And I tell you what, it's one of those deals where it's all about timing. I guess everything in life's about timing, right? So you try to make sure that you get the most instruction time you can without doing any kind of jeopardy and putting anyone in danger. And that's, yesterday we made the call and we got lucky, right? We hit it right on the nail. So it worked out perfect. But today, you don't take those chances. And we always say that, hey, I'd rather be kissed than kicked, Becky. I'm glad you said that. But, today, it's one of those deals where we never, as we always say, we never want to put anyone in danger, and we'll always err on the side of safety, right? So at the end of the day, if I have to be kicked and I'm kicked because I did what was the safest thing to do, then I'll take that kick, no problem.
I got you. I love that. Well, I think the thing, when it first came on yesterday, we were in contact with our local officials, and our sheriff was saying, that it's just there's so many, people already off the roads. There's so many wrecks, and we had some that actually had flipped and turned over. It just, it just got so slick so fast. And of course, then when the night falls and our temperatures fall, it's only going to become more ice. And so it's still very dangerous. I want to say for anybody, and just kind of put this out there, our main roads do not look too bad. There are some slick spots, but are very, really good. But the county and the country roads that which we have so many in this county, I do want to say they're very dangerous right now. So please they're very slick, I'm hearing.
Well, I'm glad you put that out there, Becky. And I know a lot of folks, they take some chances. Of course, life happens, right? We get in hurries, we do things like that, and sometimes we don't always follow the safest cue. But every time we get a reminder, you can never remind anyone enough to be safe, right?
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So those are hopefully, good reminders for everyone. But let's jump in, Terry. Let's talk about some of the things. Of course, let's explain some of the what a blessing now that we do have, and especially this is one winter that I think a lot of us won't forget. We've really been, a lot of winter we've had here in January now into February. What do you feel like, or how does this work with the, making sure you have your days in, and kind of explain like e-learning days? How are they calculated with the state? Explain all that.
Yeah, so that's a great question, Becky. And I think that always gets folks just a tad bit confused on, well, what do you mean synchronous? What's asynchronous? All of that. What's a snow day? So first I'm going to say this. Daggone it, we've finally had a winter in Indiana, and I'm going to be on the record of saying this. I don't like it. Right? So, yeah.
I'm taking notes here, Terry.
Hey,
Terry
right
does not like this. Okay.
I'm right with you.
Right, exactly. So, so what we do is, of course, the state of Indiana says that students have to attend school, or have instructional time at 180 days a year, basically. So we always try to figure out, okay, how do we get those days in? You put together a calendar where you give kids enough days off where they don't get burnt out, and then you also got to figure out, okay, we got to make sure we don't lose some instructional time by taking days off, because kids are kids, and it always, even through a weekend, Becky, there's kind of a transition to learning back to getting back to school, right? Even with 1 or 2 days off. So when you have multiple days off, it makes it difficult to kind of get kids back in the right routine and all that to get them back into the learning phase, as you want to call it, right? So as we move forward, we always got to make sure we get the state required number of days in. And they said, well, how come you got to do that? Well, that's how we get our money, right? We get paid by students attending school. So we have to tie all that together, and at the end of the day, we always know that even though the kids have got to be there 180 days, we've got 365 days to get those 180 days in, right? So if we have to go into June, like several years ago, I think some schools have to do, then we'll do that. But it's just a combination of trying to put together a calendar and making it work, right? So it's one of those deals where as we do that, we try to keep everybody in mind. We try to keep the parents in mind, and people who travel over long weekends, like Easter weekends and weekends like that, where you need just an extra day, right? So a lot of times you'll see built-in vacation days or snow days around some of those travel weekends we have.
Right. And having the e-learning, these actually, so like when it comes to, and everybody, I know everybody's ready to talk about spring break, it won't affect spring break at this point. Are we still on schedule?
Right. It will not affect spring break. And, you know, and I'm glad you said that, because really, some of these decisions you make, I love it. You said you get kicked or kissed. I love that phrase, Becky. So it's one of those deals like in spring break. So you've got people who have, you know, they have to schedule their spring breaks and all that a year out when they at work, right?
Yeah.
Parents have to do that.
Yes.
When they know that spring break's going to be this certain time. Well, if we go back, then we have to take a day or two of spring break to make up snow days, and it's like, well, wait a minute, we scheduled this, we're going to be in Tampa, Florida that week, or so you're always, I mean, it's never an easy task, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a task that if you try to get the information out there early enough, you try to hope you give people time to be able to make adjustments to their lifestyle.
Right, right. Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that we actually, you know, I remember graduation being in June, you know, and yeah, so we have had that. But it is a blessing that, you know, and if you want to say anything positive about COVID, that we did really have to get, if you will, have to really get in gear and bring out these e-learning, you know, and so that's worked out to be a huge blessing for schools. You
know, it has, Becky, and I'm glad you said that, because COVID, of course, was a bad situation, terrible, right? And but as humans, we try to be flexible, and what that gave us the opportunity to know that we can get things done, you know, online in the educational world. Now, is it the same as being there in the school with the teacher in front of them? No, it's not. You know, with all the computers and all the technology that we have there at Salem schools, Becky, which we're at the top of the line on technology, is the most important tool in that classroom is still the teacher, right? So, so we try to make sure that we have enough, you know, opportunities for kids to be in front of teachers to be able to learn, because we feel that's the optimum setting for students to be able to acquire knowledge.
I agree. Yeah, I think that, that's good. And I know the teachers, they want those students, you know, that's why they, you know, they went to school, they love what they do, and it always shows. We have some of the best teachers, and I think, you know, of course they want a normal, you know, work classroom. So, but, you know, sometimes we just can't do that with this weather, especially this winter. So, you know, I think everybody will be anxious to get back together and get back more in a if you will, the same routine.
Right. Well, you know, what the old saying there, Becky, is get back to the same old, right?
Yeah, we need the same old.
We're ready for that.
Yeah. I could use same old.
Well,
right.
I will tell you that next Tuesday we're supposed to be almost 60 degrees.
Heat wave.
58
wow.
degrees.
Well, I tell you what, you know, we had those real cold days last week, you know, it was down in below zeros, and it got up to 18. I'm thinking, man, I don't even need a jacket on today. I'm going to walk out in my T-shirt, right? And just wear a T-shirt out to work in. So it's funny how temperatures are relative. And, I'd rather have that relativity at 60 or 70 degrees and not -5, right, and minus 10.
Yeah. So, starting Monday, we'll have 4 days in a row that'll be in the 50s.
Nice.
So
I'll take that 100%. What about you, Becky?
Well, Terry, I was going to say, he's a wise man over there bringing some good news, right?
Yeah, he is. I mean, I'll tell you what, we always love working with our sister communities as well, right? And I want to say that as we work through things and we talk about situations, we want to make sure it's important to coordinate with school corporations. With you know, you see a lot of times that, hey, Salem's out of school, so's Pekin, and so is West Washington. Well, we have students that share school corporations. We all have brothers and sisters in different schools. Now, you try to do everything you can to try to accommodate, to make sure that things run smoothly, and there's a coordination between the school corporations as well, right? We communicate in the morning times, and what's it like in your district, what's it like over here, and we want to make sure that we're making the right decisions. So, you know, in the wintertime, Becky, and I love it. I'm a morning person, so I love this. I think I'm in the perfect fit for my job. But, you know, I get up right around 4 a.m. In these snow days, right? So go out and take a look around and see what's going on, and you try to judge, hope nobody sees me driving that early in the morning. They say, man, that guy's still asleep. He slid right through that stop sign. Or, I'm doing it on purpose, right? Because we all know sometimes how our children like to drive, and we also know that buses aren't the most stable vehicles on the road. They're big, they're bulky, but sometimes when it gets slick out, they're not necessarily the best vehicle to be in. So we understand that. So you see me out driving in the morning, you see me spinning around and doing a donut in the parking lot. I'm not I'm not trying to be 16 again. I'm just trying to check how slick the roads are, and to make sure that if you put the brakes on, you stop. You don't slide all the way through the stop sign.
Yep.
Right. Well, I think I'm so glad you told that, because I really wanted, there's a formula, there's a method to this madness. Whenever school is canceled, I just really want, the whole world to know that it's not taken lightly. There's so many factors, so many calls, so many communications, so many, I guess, collaboration of people, from, even from our police departments to our officials, and like you said, other school corporations in the county. I mean, and sister counties too. I love that working together to make sure and to check in to find out what everybody else is seeing, and use that, same mind.
Absolutely, Becky. And it's one of those deals where we're rivals on Friday night or on the athletic field, but when it comes to time, we're all from Washington County, daggone it, and we're all family at some point in time, right? So we want to make sure we work together, even though we maintain those sports rivalries. We don't necessarily have those rivalries in the academic world, and we always want to make sure we do what's right for children. And I want to say this: I'm going to give a kudos to Sheriff Miller.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say thank you to him. He took time yesterday to answer my phone calls as we were monitoring weather and doing all that. And he took time to answer those during the day when there was several accidents and a lot of things going on with the sheriff's department. But for him as sheriff to take time to answer those calls, I thought that was over and above, and I appreciate him and his efforts yesterday in helping us make sure that children were safe.
Yeah, I'm so glad you gave him a shout out. I'll give him one. I agree. Double shout out too, because I talked to him yesterday too, and he was shaking and moving. He was hopping. Yeah, there was he was going from coast to coast on this county, trying to to keep up with everything that was going on, because there was a slide off here, an accident here, and he was So I do want to say that he maybe hope maybe he's sleeping in. You know what I mean? I hope he's sleeping in this morning.
I doubt it. But.
Yeah, I doubt it too. I'm sure there's just a big pot of coffee.
No, he's probably out there already. I know that. So.
Yeah. Okay, so Terry, I love that you're bringing this stuff up, because I think it's great for people to know the behind the scenes, and it's not, and for those that, maybe don't understand how much time and how much effort is actually put into this, and how much thought is. I think it's always important, good reminders to remind everybody about that. But something else. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I apologize, Becky.
No,
I just always like to end on this note with the snow days and all this. You got to remember that as individuals, they kick or kiss, whichever. They're making decisions for one or two or three children, right? But whenever we make decisions at the school corporation, it's for 1,600 children. So we're always going to make sure we have to make the decision that may not necessarily be practical for one or two or five families, but for the entire rest of the district, it's the most practical and the safest decision there is to make.
Right. And that's a drop the microphone there, Terry. But I'm not going to let you go, because I got more to talk about, okay?
Well, as you know, Becky, I don't like to talk. I'm very shy and backwards, so I appreciate it. Anytime you can give me the cue to say something.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, no. Hey, I was going to say that one thing that, that when we went into, of course, we've been talking about this last week, the National Weather Service was like, they wrote the story. They did a beautiful job. I can't give them enough kudos for telling us how this firn was going to play out. And it was actually a play-by-play book. I mean, they wrote it, okay? But one thing that we, really emphasized last week was, with these cold temperatures, how cold it got. And since we're highlighting Salem School Corporation, it was such a blessing for that olive branch to be reached out to everyone from Salem School Corporation, that if in the reason that we do have electrical problems or electricity goes out, that we had that safe room with a huge generator.
Well, thank you, Becky. And that's I'm glad you pointed that out, because as educators and as even as school board members, as yourself, we're public servants, right? And we try to do everything we can to try to make sure we accommodate the public and try to help alleviate issues for those people who have problems when serious efforts are going on outside, right? I mean, you've got anomalies in weather, and that's a serious issue, whether it's heat or whether it's you can't get the front door open, right, or whether you can't get in the car and drive away or whatever. So we try to make things, as we look at the public, we try to make sure we keep the public in mind as we make decisions, and we want to try to figure out how we can accommodate and help relieve some of the stress maybe that folks may encounter during these times.
Well, and I just wanted, I want to point out too, I want to say that, whenever this was talked about, I love that. And, and we do know that, when these safe rooms were put in, we, completely said, this is for our community. This is such a blessing. We pray you don't necessarily need them for, such a tragic, like a, whether a tornado or a electric out or something, a tragedy like that. But you pray you don't need them, but it's so nice to know you do have them. But as a superintendent, whenever you put that out there and you hear from all of your team, and I'm talking about from from the custodians to anybody, or to the whole team of Salem School Corporation, to say, hey, we're in, we'll help out, and we can open this. Isn't that just refreshing to you?
Well, it's good to know that you're from a community that cares, right, Becky? As we move forward, we know that not everybody's able to be able to enjoy some accommodations that other people enjoy, right? But we want to make sure that they at least have the accommodations, that they're not going to be struggling, or they're not going to be stressed, or they're not going to be in any kind of danger. So we have the opportunity there at Salem Schools that we have those safe rooms, and we have the opportunity to make sure that folks can come and get some relief if they are stressed or they are in danger. And it's always a good opportunity to be able to open those up and let people know that, hey, there is a place you can go. And it just speaks volumes for the community, Becky, and the board and the decisions that were made. I know when those rooms were built across across Indiana and across the nation, there was a lot of folks who was, oh, you're spending money on nothing. What do you mean, yada yada? But at the end of the day, when you have the opportunity to open those up and you see people come in and you realize that you may just save someone's life, right? Especially in tornado weather and all that, and it makes a huge difference. And it's one of those deals where, hey, we're going to do this, not do this 1,000 times, and I'll make this decision 1,000 times versus zero, right, because of these results.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to highlight that because that's a huge blessing and everything. So, so as far as today, school is not in session, and I know that, of course, our team and all of them are making sure that the water's working, the electricity's on. So there are people that are still doing things. Just because school is not in session doesn't mean that some people still are getting it, aren't they?
They are, Becky, and I'm glad you pointed that out as well. And I enjoy being on the radio with you. You're always hitting the points that need to be hit. And no matter how big the performance is, or what the show is, or whatever you're doing, there's always those folks behind the scenes that make it happen.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh, sure.
So big kudos to Matt, to Joe, and to Kent there at the Salem Schools, and what they do to keep their entire teams. Their teams are amazing. The bus drivers yesterday, in situations like that, there was communication. Those people are amazing, and a lot of times they don't get the credit they deserve. And these are times when folks need to know that there's a lot of ants working in this little community, and we a lot of times they don't get recognized or get seen, but they make a world of difference. And those folks are the ones that make it happen.
I agree, and I hope they feel it. I hope their ears are burning right now, because I agree completely. And and just going back to that, the bus drivers yesterday, because that's when when school let out, is when it really started getting, the first started getting really slick and just kind of doing that. And talk about the responsibility, and we have got the best of the best. And as far as the three pillars you said, as far as Matt, Kent, and Joey, those three are talk about I guess trailblazers. Talk about
right.
They're three of the best.
They are, and it's one of those deals where, and those individuals, they care about their jobs, right? And their teams, they care about their jobs, and all of that. And it's the unsung heroes in the education world that really are the ones that I always try to make sure we put in the spotlight, because they're the ones that make it happen. The cooks.
Oh.
Hey, our children eat. Our cooks are there, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't want me to cook their lunch as a superintendent. I say that right now. So they wouldn't be able to eat it probably. So all those folks, you know, it's teachers, aides, your custodians, your maintenance, your cooks, the bus drivers, all those people that put it together and make it work. And you got to have a good working relationship and good working group of school board members as well, Becky. And we've got that. So it's one of those deals when you've got a group of people who want to do what's best for the kids that live in your community. Then I hate to say this, but it makes the job easy.
I agree. Well, you know, and we're all, absolutely. And I think that Salem School Corporation does a fantastic job on that. And I'd like to, you know, I'm so glad we're highlighting those that actually, you know, it's funny because they would absolutely just be completely just like, oh no, you know what I mean? They're so
right. They don't want to be in the limelight. They don't want to be recognized. They want to come. They want to do their job, and they want to go home, right, and be with their families. But every once in a while, we want to make sure they walk through the sunshine because they deserve it.
I agree. I like that. Yeah, I like anytime you want to use the word sunshine in this talk this morning.
Oh yeah, there you go. I didn't mean to say that, but daggone, I'm gonna take credit for it. Yeah, anytime you're right today, especially sunshine, right? I meant to say the word, but not in that context. I love it. Thanks, Becky.
Yeah, keep going with that. So actually, you know, you actually are a farmer too, so you've got a lot to keep up with this today, and you've been having a lot to keep up with too, correct?
Yeah, I love it. You know, it's a great. Animals are really resilient, right? And I raise beef cattle. Folks don't know that, but you check on those cows, and you know, we're coming close to calving season, and some of those farmers out there right now are already having calves on the ground, and it's a tough time for those little ones, right? So not as much mass there to keep them warm, so it's a little difficult. You got to keep a real close eye on those. Luckily, we haven't started calving yet on the farm, so I'm not to that point, but. You know, I love it when you walk through those farm gates. Those cows, they don't kick you. They'd rather kiss you. But now, if you get too close, they will kick you. So that's a great analogy, Becky. And I'm going to use that the rest of my tenure here as we talk on the radio. That you get kissed or kicked on these decisions, and I guess that's true in life, even on the farm.
Absolutely. Now, I did see where one actually was delivered, and they had to bring him or her, the baby, inside. And now, what would Mrs. Goodin do if she comes in and there's a baby calf in?
Well, Mrs. Goodin would love to bring that calf in, but the trouble is Mr. Goodin would be outside where the calf was, right? No. You live on the farm. You have to accommodate, right? And those farm wives, another lot of those folks that live in the in the shadows that make it click. And you know, at the end of the day, I think at the heart, probably 99.9% of all people are animal lovers, right?
Absolutely.
And my wife's one of those animal lovers as well. So now I may get everything would be kosher with the wife and the kids, but now my cat might be the one that would be. Hey, wait a minute, this calf's laying on my couch, right? Get up, buddy.
This is my good spot. Yeah. Well, you know, it's always nice to know, to get to know the superintendent personal, and I think that's whenever you're not, under the superintendent realm right there, of course you're always under that, but it is nice to know, what all else you do, and farming is huge, and it's a huge part of our state and our community too.
It is, Becky. I love the farm. I grew up in it, and it's one of those deals where I think genetically I inherited it, right? So whether I wanted to be a farmer or not, I am, but I love doing it. So I was born into the right family at the right time and with the right opportunities, and I love it.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And it shows. Well, Terry, is there anything else as far as I appreciate you taking time, and I know morning, like you said, is like I'm sure you're extremely busy right now. But what is there anything else on on Salem that we've missed? We've set the date for graduation. I don't have it before me, but it's going to be exciting for our seniors and all of their families. And then we've also let's see, we've got spring break, which everybody, you're supposed to think spring, right? You're supposed to think that,
Right.
right?
Sunshine, right?
Absolute sunshine. There's our word,
Sunshine.
sunshine. I'm going to borrow that today. Sunshine.
Yeah.
And so we're supposed to think that, and of course they always say that's healthy for your brain to kind of think about that. But also, I guess as far as like, we're on to Wednesday and finishing the week out, we'll just take it day by day to see,
And
I guess.
we got the girls sectional. Salem Lady Lions will play the Lady Musketeers tonight if all that's still on schedule. So
Right.
that's at Eastern.
And we'll see with our athletic directors how that, they've been very good. Our athletic directors have been very good at communicating on some of that. Sometimes they can have the game, sometimes they can't have the game. And of course we know, and I do want to say this too, I'm not going to, go, should we have the game or not have the game? That's not my call. But I do want to say that just behind the scenes to get the referees, to get the school, whenever they do plan these games, there's so much that athletic directors go into. We've had them on the radio several times, and it's always, people don't realize what all's on their plate and what all they have to do and involved in putting on a game,
No, you're right, Becky. There's a lot of working parts to this clock here we call school.
Yeah.
And as we do that, and like you said, if you make one left turn, and it's like, wait a minute, we've got to make another right turn and another left turn, because every decision you make, then it actually impacts the next decision or decision that's going to come down the road. So.
Right. Well, and I think that's sometimes, and I think with ball games, if you can't make it, then that's where the radio, we pray, comes into play. We always encourage everyone to go and support the youth. But if you can't, then that's where the radio comes into play. Or if you, and I think that's the part that it's not mandatory to go to that game. School is more, everybody needs to be in school, and you want everybody in school. And that's kind of a, sometimes that's where I feel like forgiveness of not having school comes into play, whereas a ball game, it's an option to go.
Absolutely, Becky, you're right. And it's one of those deals where even with the education side, as you mentioned, we have e-learning where kids are still learning even though they're at home, right? So, but even with ball games, you can't make it daggone, you can turn the radio on.
Yeah.
And so you're still able to be able to participate in some way, shape, or form in what's happening, right?
Right, exactly.
So that's a good point. Thank you for making that.
Yeah, definitely. So I just feel like that. So we'll just, I guess, stay tuned, and we'll just keep everyone, Terry. And I do want to say I commend you giving the heads up yesterday or last night in the fact that it gave parents a little bit of they appreciate that, in the fact of, and I know sometimes it can't, you know what I mean, and sometimes sometimes it doesn't, but it kind of gives them a little more time to bob and weave and kind of figure out what the next day is going to look like for them.
Right. Well, you're right, Becky. We always try to make the decision as soon as possible, and that's one of those deals where last night, as you said earlier, it was slushy, it was wet snow, and then you look at the thermometer and say, uh-oh, this is going to be trouble. And so that's one of those decisions, and as we move forward, we'll make those same decisions. And like I said, we'll always err on the side of safety. But always want to make it clear, if you got questions as parents, feel free to call us at school. I like communicating with parents. I like letting people know why we make decisions we make, right? So a lot of times the decisions, as we said earlier, that you make for 1,600 kids aren't the same decisions you'd make if you got 3 or 4. So all of that comes into play. And Salem Community Schools, what a great school, Becky. A lot of opportunities and everything we've got coming down the line. A lot of great new educational programs. I'm looking forward to being on the show again later on in our next coffee talk or the next, and talk about some of those things. And it's an amazing place to be, and it's getting more amazing as the days go on here, and things that we're adding. So it's a great opportunity to be here. Thank you so much for what you do. This is awesome. And I'm going to steal your words, Becky. I want to tell everybody to make sure, please be safe. Don't take risks. Don't take chances. Leave the house 5 minutes early today, right, if you've got to be somewhere.
Yep. I love that, Terry. That's exactly right. Absolutely.
It's a good rule of thumb anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, definitely. Good words of wisdom from our superintendent, Terry Goodin. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And Terry, be out there or get out there and do what you have to do, but don't fall. We've had some falls here.
Absolutely.
And we've actually had some falls around here, and I haven't fallen, I do want to say, but I've done some, Bambi dances out there, you know.
Well, I'm glad you're agile enough to do that, Becky. My Bambi dances turn into belly flops, right? So that's how that works. But yeah, it's one of those deals. Just be safe, right? And I love it. And you can't say that enough on a day like today. So thank you so much. You guys have a great day, and I look forward to our next conversation.
All right,
Thanks,
best
Terry.
day ever, Terry. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Terry Goodin, our superintendent. Fun man, yeah. You can see, and you can tell he's a morning person,
Yep,
which, you know,
yep.
we love that, don't we?
And his name and his personality match. He is a good one.
He is a good one. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I
Good
think
guy.
everybody agrees with that for sure. All right, we are actually on this wonderful Wednesday. Let's see what our holidays are. Let's see if there's any, you know, we had chocolate cake day, we've had donut day, we've had...
And we didn't celebrate any of those.
Oh, well, you know what? We got to do some making up then, don't we, on
Yeah.
that? Yeah, we... I don't know how they were talked about, but it didn't happen, did it?
You're celebrating today, National Sweater Day.
Yeah, okay.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather. And let's see here. This is also create a vacuum day.
A what?
A vacuum day, you know?
Okay.
National Girls and Women's in Sports Day.
There you go.
How apropos for
That's
that,
very
right?
appropriate, yeah.
National Hemp Day.
No, we won't be celebrating.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. National Homemade Soup Day. What kind?
Chicken noodle.
Wow. Did you see the photo of
No,
it?
I did not.
That photo looks so good. It looks like, you know, those noodles.
Actually, it might be vegetable.
Yeah. That's probably what it's gonna be. Yeah, exactly.
Which that's
Leftovers.
not bad. That's not bad.
Leftovers.
That's not bad.
Those are good though. Let's see here. Anyway, but this I do want to say, this homemade soup day. It's chicken noodle, and it's got the noodles like you like. It looks like those homemade noodles that you like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
That you see photos of.
I dream about.
So bad. I'm so bad. Okay.
It's National Stuffed Mushroom Day too. You like stuffed
I
mushrooms.
love stuffed mushrooms. Don't
And
even
fried mushrooms.
talk about a fungus among us, right?
Cooked
What
mushrooms.
was it? Mushroom walked into the bar and said, we don't serve your kind. And he said, why? I'm a fun guy. Yeah. Okay. National Quacker Day. Yeah, I'll be all right.
National what?
Quacker Day, and it shows those little ducks. I've got so many
Oh
ducks.
wow.
And there's so many different kinds of ducks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ducks. Yeah. National Signing Day. I did a bunch of contracts the other day and signed a lot of contracts. So onward ho we go. National Stuffed Mushroom. You said that. National Thank a Mailman Day. I love that. Hats off to all of our mail people, right? Look at them. Talk about getting out and doing it, right?
Of all shapes, sizes, and
Oh, what was it? What's their thing? Do the snow, wind, rain? What exactly? I mean,
Hang on.
I'm not. I know I'm not doing it right.
well, I don't know that it's. I don't know that it still
No,
pertains. But
they
neither snow
do.
nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night shall stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
Oh, I thought it rhymed.
I know.
Oh, well, I mean to make a rhyme out of that.
And that was.
How many years ago was that? Because that was like we've heard that for years.
That was from the Persian Wars, paragraph 98 of the Persian Wars by Herodotus, describing the Persian postal system. So this way predates anything we've had here.
That's pretty awesome. Rosa Parks Day. Love that. World Cancer Day. Wouldn't that be a blessing if we were to say, what's that?
Yeah.
I hope. Let's see here. World Read Aloud Day. Read Aloud Day. Did you always like to read aloud?
No. Matter of fact, I remember in school, I don't know why, but I remember in school, and they, you know how they'd go around the room, and everybody'd read like a paragraph, or if you were lucky, they'd say, go ahead and read the next paragraph to somebody, and then you would try to count ahead.
Oh, to see.
You try to count and see where,
number.
and I would just let it end before they get to me.
It's funny because, okay, I loved it. And here's the fun thing, though, that I am. Coming from my background, from my mom and dad, I always wanted my voice to sound good. Like whenever you're called upon, I always wanted to make sure my voice sounded good. And that, because when you haven't talked for just a second, for a little bit in class, and then all of a sudden you go to talk, You know, you want to make sure that you, and that was always my scare, to make sure my voice sounded good. Did you think about that?
Well, I didn't.
I don't know that the average person, I think it was because it was stressed so much.
Until we started fooling around with tape recorders as a kid, you didn't really know what you sounded like, and then I realized I needed to keep my mouth shut.
No. I know. Well, of course, I learned at an early age.
You sound
read
good.
this, you're on the radio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Here,
Becky.
read this. Yes. Here, read this. You're on. Yes. Yeah. That was, instead of my pacifier, it was read this.
Here, put this.
No, that's not true.
You were vaccinated with a phonograph needle.
That's it. Exactly. Something like that. But anyway, so those are some holidays. Get out and enjoy. I didn't see any cake or ice cream day, but you do you.
Today,
if you want to do makeup for last time.
Sorry, today is not an official holiday, but today, well, actually now if you have Disney Plus, but the Muppet Show comes back today for just a one-time show to celebrate its 50th year.
I love that. I can't wait to watch that.
We need to see if a couple of different characters are on there.
I know.
And they would be.
Oh, I got Beaker.
Beaker and Doctor or Professor.
The Professor, yeah. Yeah, I love that. And of course, you can't go wrong with Miss Piggy, Kermit. I mean, I love them all. Don't even get me with Animal. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? All of them. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad this past year at Disney. Yeah. They tore down the Muppet Theater and the little area there, and but it's going to be cool what they're building.
I know.
And
it'll be cool.
And
so
then
it'll be instead of the rock and roll roller coaster.
They're going down to a different area, and in the Aerosmith portion of
which I loved.
The rock and roller coaster is going away, and it will be now a Muppet themed rock and roller coaster, and in the band.
Yeah.
the Muppet Band will be.
Which I love the band, right? You gotta love the band. Okay, every bit of it. I love every bit of that.
What was it? You're supposed to get Aerosmith to the concert on time, and so now I guess you'll have to get the Muppet Band to the concert on time.
Yeah, that was the whole. Yeah, while you're standing in line, you get the instructions.
Supposed to be riding a limo.
Yeah, and you got to get them there quickly.
Yeah.
And that's when and then the fun thing about the rock and roll roller coaster is that then in your ears there's like music just jamming, and you're going up and down and all
like the
around.
headrests have speakers.
Yes, and they're just fantastic. I love every bit of it. I could just ride it over and over.
I waited at the end, and when the workers are hosing the seats out, I realized that probably wasn't something I should ride.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I never saw that part. Yeah, you.
Oh my.
Yeah, I didn't see that part. Thank goodness I didn't. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Yeah, everybody around me was fine.
Stayed safe.
Yeah, stayed safe.
Everybody stayed dry.
Marked safe. Yeah, marked safe from the rock and roll roller coaster. All right, another thing that a child blast from the past, which we woke up every morning with with Minute Maid actually in the frozen canned juices, and they are discontinuing after 80 years. Minute Maid is discontinuing its frozen canned juices after 80 years. I'm kind of for anyone who.
That's just a staple. That was a staple.
I know. Minute Maid announced they're discontinuing their frozen canned juices. They're taking up space in the freezers for 80 years, which we loved.
Well, they didn't just have orange juice. They had lemonade. They had grape juice. They had fruit punch. They had.
Oh, I know. I am sad. And hang on, I make. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I make horrible. For some reason we are kind of cursed with horrible punch makers, but I do try to make it, and that is what you use, like that orange sherbet, right? Kind of. No, it's not orange sherbet. Isn't it like you use that? I believe in making that. I don't know. I'm not happy about this. For your mom.
Well, blame Coca-Cola because they own Minute Maid now.
I need to, dear sirs, please bring it back.
Please.
Please bring it back.
Don't write
For your mom made lemonade or orange in the 80s, 90s, or earlier, is probably what she used. Open a can, plop it in a pitcher, mix it up, and drink. So my mom would. I can remember this 100%. She would take it, and I remember her opening it up, and it would plop. And she would use a blender. She would blend it and drink it. And it was funny because she would chase us around if we didn't have breakfast. Now you got to at least drink something. At least you got to drink something, They went let's see here. They were meant for soldiers in World War II until the war ended. The first cans of frozen concentrated OJ hit stores 80 years ago in 1946. Coca-Cola owns Minute Maid now and blamed shifting consumer preferences. The cans just aren't as popular as they used to be, and we've got lots of competition from generic versions too. So rest in peace, Minute Maid cans. You were cheap and pretty good.
Well, Bing Crosby was instrumental in getting that going. He became a spokesperson for them, and they couldn't afford to pay him, so they gave him a bunch of stock.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, as it got more popular, he got pretty rich.
That's pretty
although
cool.
He probably was rich anyway, but he, yeah.
That's a cool story. Those are little fun facts. It's funny how like something like that. They also had grape. You could do grape juice too, and it's amazing though how much of a part of our, I guess, growing up, our childhood was this, and then now it's going to go. I wonder if people are going to like kind of just start buying a bunch of it right now.
I'm sure
and,
there's other brands maybe that you could get.
Well, it says generics taking it, so I guess if you wanted the same. But it's just that
we usually probably bought that anyway.
No, I think I was Minute. I don't know. Of course, back then there might not have been the generic, so Minute Maid was the bomb diggity. I don't know.
Now we would always forget to set it in the refrigerator the night before, and it would, or maybe that was my mistake, but take it out frozen and try to thaw it out enough to get it made for breakfast.
Yeah, and if you
it would be real weak, you know.
Yes.
You'd have like pale orange water.
But you wouldn't want it runny. You wouldn't want it runny and too warm, you know. And
but you had the clump of concentrate.
But then if you put it in the blender, then it kind of made it icy.
Yeah.
Which was.
Oh yeah.
That was a little bonus.
Like an orange Julius.
Yes. Oh, don't even. I forgot about orange Julius. Oh my goodness, these were so good. Do you remember they would? So, I remember the orange Julius. Boy, that's a blast from the past. I love those. I remember people getting them. They wanted the protein, so they would put an egg in them.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't have to get the egg. You could get it with or without the egg. And then they even made another flavor. They took the orange Julius and then they made a. What would it have been? It was
something red, wasn't it? Wasn't it like a strawberry or something?
I think you're right. Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah. So you could then like all these decisions. Remember going up to it was a little stand there at the Green Tree Mall.
Right outside of Sears.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I can
see
it. I remember that. Yeah. And standing in the line is so excited.
6 ounces of frozen concentrate, 1 cup of milk, half a cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1.5 cups of ice, and they put it in a blender. Some recipes also included egg white powder. Oh, so that's it just was the egg white, not the whole egg.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that they didn't. I don't.
We might have to try to make that. It is now owned by Dairy Queen.
Well, I don't know that they make. You mean the recipe then?
The brand.
Oh, okay. Do they call it that?
I don't know. I've never seen one since. I don't think.
Well, I've never.
Oh, they have. There's the red one.
Was it a strawberry? I think you're right on that. It was something.
Oh, now they make smoothies, and there's a triple berry.
I think.
Let's see where they
even have.
Let's see where you can even go to this.
All right, you work on that one. All right, you can.
Now, if we find an Aladdin's Castle, there's there's one in Austin, Indiana.
Oh, is it really?
We might have to make a road trip.
Wait, like a booth or a?
I don't know. It could be at a gas station. I couldn't tell you. It says there's one in Seymour, but it's temporarily closed.
Okay.
And there's a fan club.
Well, now, that's fun. I didn't know that.
Monthly coupons and a birthday offer, so you might get a free one on your birthday.
I like the idea of that. Well, now you're reeling me in.
It was kind of foamy. Remember? It was,
yes.
It was probably the. I don't know what it was.
The blending. Let me just say, when they put it in the blender, sometimes
the milk,
you get fun.
milk,
with the milk. Yeah, I'm bringing it up.
So you could make it with skim milk and.
Yeah, you can do all that.
We might have to make. We figured out how to make the thing at Disney, the pineapple. What is it called? The
pineapple whip, Dole Whip.
Dole Whip.
Oh, that stuff is just like, on a hot Disney day and you have some Dole Whip. Oh, get out. All right. Here are some etiquette. You know, it's funny because I really, you know, love etiquette and actually was raised with a lot of etiquette, but it sometimes has gotten overlooked. Let's just say that, okay? So, a guide to everyday etiquette is making the rounds. Someone mocked it up on a poster. You'd hang it up on the wall of your business, okay? Which I like this.
Oh.
So you got some tips on highlight. Here are highlights of what you add. Okay, number 1, hold the door if someone is right behind you. I always do that. I think you do too. Do you?
No, I try to.
Try to.
Yeah.
I will even
mostly for you, but I try to hold for other people.
Right, but I think I try to hold it, and I'll even take my foot, and like if I'm like already in like gone, if I have something in my hand, I'll hold my foot to hold that door for the next person. And I've noticed that surprises people. They'll say thank you. You know what I mean, like that, and I really hope that is contagious. You know, when you keep doing something, maybe. Number 2, let people exit an elevator before you enter. Same goes for businesses and trains. So yes, always that is yes. Yeah. Always let them come out before you go in.
Yep.
And I think that's even like if you are at a store and you're going in a store, let the people come out.
Hold the door open and let people come out.
And then, yeah.
And I try to let people off the elevator first.
Right.
In some cases, if unless they're waiting on another floor, but.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so don't play loud music on public transportation.
So we can't play that funky music?
Yeah, I have trouble with that probably. I'm probably one of those that, of course, I'm not on public transportation, but I do have a tendency. Oops. Arrows are pointing over here, right?
No.
Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. Mm-hmm. Oh, please do that. Please do that. Please.
Sometimes it just creeps up on you.
Yeah, but please do it. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see here.
If the service was good, leave a decent tip.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, absolutely. Number 6, if someone shows you a picture on their phone, don't. Oh, this is so funny.
What now?
If someone shows you a picture on their phone, don't swipe over. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna name drop here. Okay, like this is like etiquette. And I know it. Okay, and it's funny. This was actually the other day. I was sitting by George Browning. Okay, and if he's listening, he's gonna laugh at this. So he showed me. We were looking at photo, and I swiped over, and I said, "Oh my goodness, George," I said. I'm not supposed to do that. That's totally wrong that I did that. But I was thinking there was another photo, but it ended up being, and he was laughing because I said etiquette. I'm not supposed to do that, which I knew that, but for whatever reason I did, and it was the U of L baseball player, and it was so funny. I was like, well, I sure don't want to see that, you know what I mean? Because he was at a game.
He's a U of L.
Yeah, he's a U of L fan. I think it was a baseball player, but anyway. But yeah, he was playing. Yeah, it was just funny that George had taken a photo of that. But but I knew etiquette not to do that. You're not supposed to do that. When someone hands you a phone, you look at the photo.
But sometimes you could finger it and accidentally. You know.
Well, I know, but I didn't. Yeah. I switched, but I thought there might have been another photo pertaining to what we were looking at. So
you don't know where.
Yeah. So I saw U of L. Okay. If it had been my phone, you'd have seen IU, or you'd have seen.
Or dogs.
True.
Or kids.
Or kids, yeah. Let's see here. Return borrowed stuff in the same condition or better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I feel like that's a thing that's something that's a hill you will go to.
Well, I
feel like you feel like
I heard it all the time. Put it back where you got it, and don't put it up dirty. If you take a hoe or a shovel or something, clean it up and put it back. And my grandpa would always kept his old oil, like from the lawnmowers and stuff, tractors, and he would take a rag or a paintbrush or something and wipe that tool with oil to keep it from rusting. A hoe or a shovel, whatever. But,
right.
Yeah, put it back where you got it.
Okay. Don't abandon your shopping cart in the middle of an aisle. Okay, I agree
or
with
in
that.
the middle of the parking lot.
Well, and that's the thing. You know what I mean? We always put our shopping carts out. Yeah. Don't comment on someone's food choices unless they ask. Oh, that was a huge one. That was huge. You were really, yeah, that was a lot. Yeah.
I drove your dad nuts.
Oh.
I would say, boy, that looks good.
And it's, but the way you'd say it and you lean into it is like, do you want it? I remember him saying, does he want my food? You know what I mean? He's got his own, you know what I mean?
Saying that looks good.
Yeah, but that was the way, yeah.
You made a good choice, sir.
I don't think that was, yeah, it was not, it was really just something different, yeah. Do you want, I remember him saying, does he want my food? I don't know what, I don't know. Offer it to him and see what if he wants it, I don't know. But he had his own, you had your own. Okay, okay, number 10, if you're leaving a conversation, put your phone away. If you're, if you're having a conversation, put your phone away.
Yep.
Very hard to do, but definitely a good thing. Yeah, just enjoy the conversation, put your phone away, and enjoy the conversation. Be in the now. Hang on, let me say it. This is my favorite right now. Be where your feet are.
Oh, be where your feet are.
Yeah,
Good
love
deal.
that. Love that, love that, love that. So, you know, it's just a good thing. So I think these are good etiquette things, and these are just good reminders. I can see putting this on the wall. I think that, yeah, I wouldn't be mad if it was all plastered everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, I do want to remind everybody, we're getting close on time here. We did talk with our school corporations. Salem, West Washington, East Washington are all off today.
With at-home learning.
Yes, which wonderful about that. So want to remind everybody that please be careful. I know right now, like right here in front of us, the state roads look good, but the county roads are still very, very slick. So I want to remind everybody, please be careful out there. And if you don't have to get out, don't. But it's good to use precaution, and we will keep you informed on whether what's going to happen with the weather next.
Yeah.
What's our next step?
Well, it's going to be cold today. It's going to be cold tomorrow.
Well, kind of got that
and
one.
it's going to warm up to about 40 on Friday. It's going to go back down Saturday. Sunday we'll be back up to about 40, and then Monday 52, Tuesday 58, Wednesday 50. Some rain Thursday and Friday, which will bring us down to 49 and 46. Saturday 42. Sunday the 15th 42. Monday the 16th 47. Then back to 53 on the 17th, and some rain, and high 48 on Wednesday the 18th. So that's a little look ahead, but it looks like we'll hopefully get some of this, or maybe all of the snow melted off, and the rain will wash off everything else.
Yeah. And you know,
So hopefully at the end of February, towards the end of February, 1st of March, we'll get back into some decent weather. But
right.
We have had some bad snow in March before, remember?
Yes, we have.
Back
Absolutely.
in 96, maybe.
Don't remember the year, but yeah, we have. Yeah. I do want to remind everybody, speaking of that, we're on 10 days away till Valentine's Day, and
Yes.
that'll be the radio station's birthday. WSLM will be turning 73 this year. The station started back in 1953, and we were trying to figure out what to do for such a big birthday, so we decided we always love to give back on our birthday. Instead of giving us presents, we'd like to give our community presents. So we thought what possibly would be one of the best things. Of course, we know food is very valuable, very important, and part of living there, and so we are going to be stationed with we've teamed up with the city of Salem, and we're going to be having a van or something there, and we're going to kind of what Brent Miller does, or the sheriff's department. I know Brent usually leads it, and the police department I think helps out, or Salem helps out too. City of Salem helps out too, and they do the Cram the Cruiser. Mm-hmm. This won't be a cruiser, but it'll be something we'll be cramming. We're going to be cramming something, and hopefully it'll be from 9 to noon on Valentine's Day, so you can get the gift of love.
We did the Volkswagen bus one time.
Yes, we did. It was so packed. Yes, I remember driving it down there to the food bank and unloading it, and it was every inch of it from beginning to the end was just filled with. So I hope this is the same thing. I hope it's like that on the 14th. So it if every person just gave like one can, it would be such a blessing. And if you're a business and you're listening and you want to come participate and help out, we love that too. We welcome everybody to come out. So
And
9 to noon.
grab like a flat box of corn or beans or peas or something.
Yeah, everything, anything. Yeah, it's all good. And we're gonna a little bit closer to time. We will find out some of their needs. So if anybody hits their needs, we'll find out. We'll get with the food bank on that. They were having trouble with the food bank with some of the pipes.
Yes.
So they've been degree of difficulties have been a little bit there. So, all right, we got to get out of here, but let's thank our sponsors this morning.
Yes, Simple and Temple, which they've been out busy.
Oh yeah.
Helping to plow snow. Sneck Hospital, Springer and Springer Insurance, McAllister Land Consulting, Marshall Monuments, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Fox Burley Wealth Management, Mama Rose's, Americans for Prosperity, Salem Crossing, Walmart, and Mediview Healthcare.
All right, everyone, let's have the best.
And 44 days till spring.
I think spring, right? All right, let's have the best Wednesday ever, okay?
Yep.
Becky White from WSLM, and I'm here at the beautiful John Jones showroom in Salem, Indiana.
It's Caleb again with John Jones Auto Group. 2026 is here, and with a new year comes a new you. New goals, new plans, and maybe a new ride. At John Jones Auto Group, we believe the vehicle you drive should match where you're headed next. Whether that's a dependable truck, a family SUV, or something that just makes getting behind the wheel feel exciting again. We're proud to serve Southern Indiana with locations in Salem, Scottsburg, Gordon, and Greenville. Make 2026 the year of the new you with a new ride from John Jones Auto Group. You see so many because they paid so little.
Give Du Bois County Tire a call. Big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving mean. They even got them for your farm machine.